Welcome to the Inphamus Hour Live. I'm your host, the Inphamus Amadeuz, all social media platforms at the Inphamus Amadeuz. And shout out to the amazing fans at Boom Bap Nation, keeping hip-hop alive every single Thursday, 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. You want to hear some real hip-hop shit, make sure you go to facebook.com/BoomBapNation. Of course, follow the Inphamus Hour, all social media platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, much more. You know where to find me at on Sirius XM, Thursdays as well, 3 p.m. for the new hip-hop picks, well, throwback hips, and noon for the new hip-hop classics. And speaking of guys that are making new hip-hop classics, I got my guy representing the Heights in the building.
Yes, sir, we outside.
Probably at this point has the most bitches in hip-hop.
Man, nah, man, I'm trying, man. I'm just chilling, man. You feel me? I'm just out here living life, you know?
Every time I see this guy's pictures on Instagram, I feel inspired to like go back to the strip club. I was at the strip club heavy at one time. Shout out to my wife. I almost lost my marriage fucking around them strip clubs, sugar daddies.
It happens to the best of us.
And when I see your pictures, I live like vicariously through you. I'm like, this guy has it figured out. Musalini, welcome to the Inphamus Hour.
I appreciate you having me, my brother.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
New project, Purism, is out now. And Khrysis, I mean, one of the top producers right now. So how did this project come about?
Shit, I met Khrysis when I went out there for the first time to fuck with Ninth in North Carolina. And I was hearing homies beats and shit. I'm like, damn, this nigga got some shit. But I'm out there fucking with Ninth, and whenever Ninth was busy, me and him ended up going to the studio and cooking up. So the records we were knocking out were just coming out crazy, bro. So I was like, man, we might as well just do a whole project.
Yeah.
And we just took it from there. But he's a dope producer, man. Shout out to Khrysis.
So were these records recorded in between the Dawn and the I project? Was that like kind of like in between time?
Yeah, cause like the Dawn and I, me and Ninth did the first project like most of it like through email, like the first.
Okay, so y'all wasn't actually like.
Yeah, connecting. I never even met Ninth, and the album was pretty much done by the time I met him for the actual first time. We just talk on the phone type shit. So when I went out there, it was just really to build with him and meet him and just shoot some videos, get some visuals of us together for when we dropped the album, and in the mix of all that, me and Khrysis just ended up knocking out a whole project. You feel me? And that shit just crazy. You already know Purism. Fully produced by Khrysis. You know, he orchestrated a lot of those transitions, those samples. He come from that Pete Rock cloth, you feel me, that J Dilla cloth, and shit, it's an honor working with like niggas like him, Ninth and shit. Them niggas is, you know, they pros at what they do and shit.
You know, your style of rap is very different. And it's, I mean, because I know you before all of this, right? So you
facts.
You were kind of dropping like more like boom bap, but it always has soul to it. And you've kind of switched into like this different lane where it's more catered towards maybe not women indirectly, but talking the subject being about more about women. Like, what made you kind of transition into that?
I mean, you know, I always been around the ladies. And I consider myself like a smooth criminal. If niggas ask me what my music, how you describe, I'm a smooth criminal. I'm talking that same shit these niggas talking about, but I'm laid back with it, talking it with some hoes by my side type shit. So I was like, yo, this is what I do in real life. So I got around some producers that was really inspiring me just to build my own sound, and nobody was doing it in the underground too. So I feel niggas like I was in the South the other day. I did a show and something. The fan came up and he's like, "Yo, you like the new Mace of this underground shit?" And that shit kind of like stuck in my head. I'm like, damn, I could see what you know. I'm one of the few doing it in the underground that can still really spit with the spitters type shit. You feel me?
Like, do you find it difficult like navigating because that lane is such a defined lane? There's only so many people in there. You got like the Sugar Freeze of the world, the Cool Keiths of the world. And then you're dealing with like real boom bap producers in a sense, or like J Dilla type of producers, like lo-fi boom bap. So like, how do you feel like navigating into that lane?
I mean, shit, man. The producers too, they really bring the best out of me. I'm the type of artist that I gotta the beat gotta push me to write. It gotta push my pen already. So as long as I got the right production and I'm in that right frame of mind, and that's that, you know what I mean, and I'm talking that shit that's the music that's gonna come out for the most part. You know what I mean? That's the lifestyle. I'm like, I just did a whole tour. You know, we used had bitches in the fucking, you know what I mean, in the Lex Luger, in the torture rack type shit. We used to tossing bitches out. Feel me? Like, this is what we doing on tour. So I like to keep my music fun too, bro. I feel like a lot of the shit in the underground kind of sometimes sounds the same, and you feel me? You
mean like guys like mimicking a sound that they see as successful? For example, like if you listen to like one of these underground mix shows, it's Griselda all day. And if you don't have that, then you have like the Alchemist no drum format. So you feel like it's maybe like a little oversaturated, or?
Yeah, man, like, you feel me? Like, you listen to my shit, you can't say I sound like Griselda. You can't say I sound like Alchemist. And the thing is, you listen to a lot of other niggas shit, and you could say it do sound like Griselda, and it do sound like Alchemist. Feel me? So that's what I'm trying to avoid. I just want to keep standing out and like my music to be in its own lane. You feel me? I could still do that shit. You feel me? And talk that shit. But they can't do the shit I'm doing over here. You gotta come to Moose for that shit, that smooth player shit. You feel me? So that's just how I'm trying to keep it. But like Griselda and Alchemist, they killing it. The reason they killing it is because they was the only ones doing it at a certain time. You feel me? Now I feel like, I don't know if you agree with me, but it's like a lot of people trying to copy that. It's wave,
so oversaturated,
right? Like,
it's ridiculous.
So it's
like I find myself every day turning down records.
Okay.
Consistently, because it's like I want artists to be themselves, right? Like I say this a lot in this show. Like, we come from an era, and I think the fans of Boom Bap Nation agree. We come from an era where you kind of like knew your artist without even meeting your artist. We come from a space where there was like a lot of different subjects in one body of work. Like, look at Nas' new album. Like, he got records about like he has a song on there talking about like your first childhood or something, where he's like, you're a child twice. You're a child when you're a kid, then you become an adult, and then you become a child again when you're elder. Right? Because now your kids have to take care of you. And I kind of feel like that's kind of lacking right now in hip-hop.
Like the whole storytelling and just different concepts. And
being yourself. Like, we were talking a little bit off camera. Like, you know, like, you are yourself. You can talk about gun busting and doing this and that, but this is who you are. And I think a lot of artists struggle. Like, and how does like an artist in this underground circuit, because again, the underground lyricists are the quote-unquote minority at this point, right? So how does like a underground artist like yourself, or like a Flea Lord, or there's multiple of them, right? How do they find their own lane in this climate?
Shit, man. It's like, you just got to find what works for you and do you with it. A lot of people, when I first started rapping, they like, yo, Moose, your shit too slow. You rap too slow, my nigga. Like, you got to rap on these kind of beats and shit. And it just so happens,
like when you say slow, you mean like more
like I was rapping on slow beats. You feel me? Like, I'm more like my I make that cruise music that you want to get high, chill music and shit. You know, but that's not what they play on the radio all day, every day. You feel me? They playing more of the up tempo shit. So, you know, people was always telling me you should do some shit like that. But I just stayed true to my lane, and honestly, that's how I caught the attention of a Ninth Wonder. Homie got songs with Jay-Z, like, you feel me? So if I could do, and I did it just staying true to myself type shit. So that's what I recommend to artists is like, yo, keep doing what you feel is hot. Because if you start doing what the next nigga is doing and get hot, then you just copying what they doing at the end of the day. You feel me? You got to find something, your niche, you feel me? That's why like when we was talking, I said I had to reinvent myself. I went from basic to general, you know what I mean? Just talking about random shit that I wasn't doing, to when I, you know, took my time with the music, I grew with my sound, and I was like, that's when I revamped to the Musalini, and that's when you start getting the, you know, the smooth player shit, the criminal, you know what I mean?
Like how was that adjustment? Because obviously you're going under one name, and then you're building yourself like in that lane, then you just kind of cut it off, right? And then you say, okay, I'm not going to be basically the general no more. I'm going to be the Musalini. I mean, I imagine that decision must have been crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I was thinking of like, should I really do this? But at the time, I was like, I wasn't really taking rap serious. I wasn't making no money off rap.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I was just really doing it just to do it. So when I made the decision, I was like, man, I'm going to just bet on myself. You feel me? Either or, you feel me? If you that nigga, it don't matter what's your name, bro. If you that nigga, the music going to speak for itself. So I was like, I'm going to change my name. And when I dropped that first song, that Money Schemes, that video on YouTube went crazy, and that was, and people were like, "Yo, this the shit you gotta do, Moose." When people were telling me this the shit we want from you, it just solidified like, I just gotta do me. I just gotta stay true to my shit. Yeah.
You know, we have like a lot of independent artists that watch the show, right? And they kind of find themselves in a space where like they post a song, it only gets like 3 fucking streams, or they post a video, it only gets this amount of views. So, like, what advice would you have for independent artists that's looking at this right now? Like, okay, this guy's coming from the bottom. He's from the Heights. We're gonna talk about that soon. Got a project with Ninth Wonder. Got a project with Khrysis. Did a whole tour. What advice would you have for them to how to take their career to the next level?
Man, you gotta take it serious, man. You gotta put in blood, sweat, and tears for this shit. I ain't gonna lie. I wake up every day and I ask myself, yo, Moose, how bad you want this shit? Like, how you willing to outwork all these niggas, you feel me? And it don't matter what I'm talking about. Like, I'm chilling, I'm talking that player shit. A lot of niggas talking that gangster shit, and they can't outwork me with the shit I'm doing, you feel me? So I wake up with, you gotta wake up with that mind state, and then you can't just talk about it. You gotta be a person of action.
Yeah.
You gotta lay out the plan, you feel me? You can't just be at home talking about you about to take the game over.
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta have a plan, and you gotta get around a solid team, people that want to see you win and that understand the vision. Cause like now with the whole independent shit and the social media, like you said, the YouTube, like even you've been doing this shit forever, my nigga, and I always see you in a different lane, my nigga, like in a different hustle. I'm like, and that's how it's supposed to be, cause you on your shit, you taking it serious, and I feel like once an artist decides to do that, doors start opening up. You feel me? And then you just gotta be smart enough to know how to put plays together. You feel me?
I kind of feel like people don't understand that in a sense, because a lot of the people that are real hip hop, quote unquote, enthusiasts, they come from a structure where it's like artists will be able to work an album for 4 years. Like literally, like you would drop an album, you would have single A come out, rock for 6 months, single B rock out for 6 months, then your album would drop with your third single, and then even after that, you would kind of pop off another single, and you'd be 3-4 years into working an album. So this type of lifestyle has to be strenuous. Where I mean, I'm looking at the Spotify right now. I mean, you got this year alone, single, Ninth Wonder album, Khrysis. I mean, you had Soul Train, which was a single, but I mean, you have like an extensive body of work in 1 year. So like, what is the mindset behind that?
Shit, I really, I love making music. You feel me? And I understand now that I'm in a position where I've been around like the 38 specials and I seen the shit they do behind the scenes. I'm like, bro, this is how I gotta work. You know what I mean? It's niggas ask me, yo, you working on the album? What you recording for? Nah, bro, I'm just recording, period, bro, because I want to be ready. I don't want to have to get ready when it's time to, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the mind state, you feel me? And the more music you put out, the bigger your catalog is. You feel me? I'm an independent artist. Like, I don't know if I might sign a deal next month, but all I know is all these albums I've been dropping for right now, they gonna be mine forever too. So when I do sign this deal, that shit gonna go right back to that back catalog. You feel me? And that's why I'm going hard. Like, you feel me? Because it's all about your catalog at the end of the day and building these expanding, like, building these fans and shit.
It's funny that you say that, because I heard from multiple people, I guess people assumed that you were with 38 Special.
Yeah, a lot of people, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I had to tell a lot of people I'm not signed the trust.
So where does that come from? Because you appeared on the project, or like where does
just because that's family. 38, like he one of the first like rap niggas that people respect, that kind of like let me inside and show me like how to do this shit at a level where I can make money off it. You feel me? Like before I wasn't making money like that off it till I started fucking with Spesh and seeing, damn, why this nigga always working? This nigga live in the mansion and he always working on music and working on albums. And he used to tell me, yo, Moose, you gotta record because albums turn into money. And now I understand.
The streaming, from
you
the
feel
albums,
me? Not even with the just streaming, just at the time when the whole underground shit was going crazy, bro, we was making bread off vinyls, my nigga. Like, Spesh had a whole
like physical.
Spesh had a whole fucking vinyl company, and that shit was just fucking with me because niggas.
I heard that too. I heard that Spesh was giving a lot of guys vinyl deals.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of. Yeah, he gave me. I ain't gonna lie, he gave me a lot of vinyl deals, and it's like that's what opened my eyes. Like, yo, you gotta really put in this work because there's bread to get with this shit. You feel me? And even at an underground level, it's like, bro, I don't care about being famous, my nigga. If I could,
so you can still be comfortable.
Yeah, like I could chill and make music and fuck these hoes and not be in the limelight. I'll sign me up. You feel me? Like type shit. But yeah, I'm not signing the trust. It's just I put in a lot of work with 38. You know, since I've been around him and just the whole Trust Army. Shout out to Shay Norn. Shout out to everybody. G4, Flea Lord. At the time, it was just a lot going on, and the Army was just going crazy. Reef Hustle from the Bronx and shit. Like, it's a lot of shit. Fred, R.I.P. Fred the Godson. Like, there's sessions I met him through like that whole movement type shit. So we just put in a lot of work, and you know, Special's a hustler, man. Like you said, he was giving niggas. He knew that he had to get with the hottest niggas that was up and coming. You feel me? And that's what he was doing at one time. You feel me? If you was hot, if he seen you working, he gonna fuck with you, real nigga shit.
You know, shout out to my guy Cool G Rap, because I remember early on, I was shooting a bunch of Cool G Rap joints, and I remember early on, like 38 Specials pulling up to the Poconos, and he was pulling up like song, doing joints with G Rap, and he came out the Son of a G project, and that kind of gave him the cosign to move forward. So now he's stepping to a premiere, stepping to a sway with a legend like Cool G Rap that you can't even get outside. Like, that guy don't come out.
That shit crazy, bro. In the story, I heard he had that album. He been had it tucked, and he was waiting for the right moment. But that album was crazy. Like, to do a whole project with Cool G Rap,
no, that's crazy.
That's bucket list shit.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah. I had Cool G Rap here on this podcast, and like the fans were just going nuts
crazy,
because he doesn't even do interviews, and he was doing it like super mystique. Like, he was in his crib and he had the light behind him, so his face is like black, but he's like, if I'm only here for you on the Inphamus Hour.
And that's love right there. You feel me? Super
dope. This is Inphamus Hour. I'm your host of Inphamus Hour. Today is the Musalini is here in the building. If you're watching right now, we are scanning the chat looking for questions. Shout out to Dykeman 204 Broadway. That's where you're from.
Shout out to the whole Uptown Dykeman to the Wash Heights, man.
So talk about Dykeman. So I got a lot of money on Dykeman. That's a whole different story. I remember early on, like in the 2000s, there was a trending movement in Dykeman. You had Sicario, you had Jay Mills running through there.
Shout out to Sicario. I did a song with him back in the old days.
Big things, yeah. He had, I think he was dating Angie Martinez at one time. And I remember being on Dykeman, like all the real OG niggas was going over there, copping the haze, copping the dro.
Everybody got to go up to, at that time, Uptown was where you had to go to get the piff and shit.
The Loud. I mean, that was the original Loud.
Yeah.
So talk about like coming from that area and like your early influences of hip hop.
Man, that era was just crazy, man. Just like even being when Dipset was real crazy, that was real close to the Heights because that's Harlem. So you know what I mean. And when Capo used to make them songs, Dímelo, Tato. Remember Uptown, like niggas used to get hype about shit like that. When Sicario had that hit, you know, and he was rapping for Uptown, and the haze that pure, man. Those them good old days, you know, that type of shit. That even the sour that they had at that time, that shit you could smell out.
It was loud,
nigga. You could, man. Then you can't even get that shit no more.
Shout out to the tabla, the Alaskan wood. They don't got that no more. I mean, that's like super school. If you don't know what tabla is, it's kind of like a compressed weed, and it would come like you would have to like melt the shit down or like mix it with the dro and shit.
But that and we can't forget about them Nemos and the Heights,
of course.
the Nutties and the Nemos and all that good shit. And of course, all the the Choppies and the Mommies and all that. You know what I mean?
So where was the best spot to get a Nemo at in the Heights?
Man, it was that gas station on 174, 175. That's that.
Back to the gas station.
Yeah, they had that little. They got that shit over there, man. Them gallons, few flavors, get you right for the night. Go a little chick, you feel me? You don't gotta take it to a restaurant, man. Just get the Sunny D gallon and you be alright.
So being from 204 specifically, like what made you kind of go into hip hop as opposed to going into the Spanish lane, because that is a super heavy Hispanic community, especially like it's all Dominican. So it's like Dembow is this that. So what made you kind of go into rap shit?
Shit, I mean, I was born and raised over here, so it's like. I'm Dominican 100%, and then when I was growing up, my pops used to like karaoke a lot in a little room, and he was heavy on the old school shit, the disco, the funky, the soul shit, And he used to play that shit all day, and he thought he was like a fake artist. He used to sing them shits while I was getting nice with the, you know. And I got a lot of my style, like the player shit, from seeing a lot of the shit my pops did. You know what I mean? Crazy, man. And but yeah, man, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Man.
So we transitioned. So early Dykeman, shout out to the Blue Room. You can't mention Dykeman without the Blue Room. So all right. So you start off as Basic the General.
Yes, sir.
Right, and then so what is the difference between Basic the General and Musalini? Because I know you as Basic the General.
Facts, man.
From the early like Facebook days, and you were doing what I would consider boom bap, but it was super soulful. So you kind of still had some of the characteristics that you have now. Then, so like, what is the difference between the two artists? Because they are two different artists.
Yeah, I mean, like I just grew as an artist, and I felt like I wanted to take music more serious. Like I was rapping Basic the General, like, but I just had access to shoot videos and go to the studio. But when I was like, man, what I'm about to do with my life type shit, you feel me? Like, what we doing? You know what I mean? I can't sell packs and piff and all day, every day. So I took rap serious. I was like, let me reinvent myself. I'm telling you, since I switched to the Musalini, nigga, like everything landed, man. Benny, when I caught Benny early, 38 Special, Ninth Wonder Khrysis, Static Selector. Like it's been crazy, my nigga. Since I had to put my mind to like, yo, I wanna make this some shit I wanna do for real. So everything changed once I made that decision and shit. And it's like, you know what I mean? You know how it is, bro. It's time to level up type shit, you feel me? So that's where I'm at with it right now.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. So here in the Inphamus Hour, we have the top 5 segment. We've done everything from top 5 fast food to this and that. So my question for you, top 5 up-and-coming bar rappers.
Bar rappers?
Bar rappers. Top 5, like, guys that are kind of in our lane. Or girls in our lane.
Shit, up and coming, huh? Like, oh, of course you gotta, Shay Noah is a fucking problem.
Yo, Shay is dope.
You know what I mean? Shay is fucking going crazy. Rome is going fucking crazy. That's 2. Shit, there's a lot of people. Flea Lord going crazy. You know, I'm still listening to Rock Marciano real heavy. He's like an OG in this shit. You know, Griselda, of course. But there's a lot of people coming up right now. You know this shit, you know how it is. Like, the wave is coming back crazy. It's like a lot more underground rappers right now.
Yeah. No, there is. So, like, what do you think is the missing element within, like, the underground community, right? Because there is a thriving lyrical underground community. And we have, like, a very, like, straightforward hip-hop fan base here, right? So, and I don't think a lot of them kind of know of like the Musalini or even like a 38 Special at this point, right?
Yeah, facts.
So like, what is the missing element to kind of get it to cross over?
Man, that's a good question, man. I mean,
because music is so subjective now, right? So you don't, if you like Lil Baby style of music, you listen to that. If you like, we spoke about like Larry June, you can listen to Larry June, Currency, you know. So how do we get the fans from the 90s who are the core fan base of lyricism and substance and all the things that we like to have to tap into the new records? Nas dropping an album, King Disease 3. I don't think that they kind of tap in, right? They still going to Illmatic. It was written. They going back.
I see what you mean.
So how do we get them to fully tap into the new projects?
Shit, that's a good question, man. I just feel like you got to put it in their face, man. You feel me? And I feel like the legends, they still get that. They gonna get that respect regardless. You feel me? When they drop, like even the Nas, like people talking about the album right now, but it's like what you said. How we gonna get the old fans to listen to the new shit, man? That's man, what you think, man? Like that's a good question.
I think ultimately it starts with the DJ.
Okay.
I think that a lot of the DJs are just kind of putting artists in a box, in a sense where they're forcing artists to make a certain type of sound that they see as successful, specifically the Griselda sound, and they're not allowing the musician to make a record that I can take outside of radio, right? So I could get your man make beats, right? So he can have 100 artists that rap and give me content, not him specifically, but just in general, and I can only play that on Shea 45. Okay, what about the barbecue? When I go to the barbecue, what about when I'm fucking DJing in the club? What about if I'm around a bunch of bitches? Can I play these type of records? Can I play a Rome Streets record in a sense, right? Can I do that? And I feel like artists are being forced to create one type of sound
Yeah, I see
instead
what you
of
mean.
creating records that appeal to everybody else. And it ultimately, in my opinion, comes down to the DJ, right? Like you as an up-and-coming artist, you're making records for what you see on the playlist. The Rap is Out of Control playlist comes out, there's 32 records on there. Okay, these guys are bing, 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 bing. Let me make records like this.
Got you.
Or not even you, the producers watching it. This is how I'm going to get on the radio. Premiere. Bing, 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 bing. And then when you send them a record that's like you're like one in a million at this point. Like they don't even play records that are catered towards girls.
Yeah, facts. And that's what I was trying to say. Like I'm bringing a whole new balance to the underground. That's crazy because I'm in the same world with the top spitters, the specials, the ransom. I'm on songs with these niggas, and I'm still over here making songs for the females. You feel me?
And that's ultimately what it comes down to. I had a record that I dropped in August. My record charted number 21 on iTunes. My record charted in the top 200 of all genres in Billboard. And not one DJ played my record.
Crazy.
So at that point, who's fucking up? The artist or the DJ?
I also look at it as like an artist got to decide what it's like. Yo, do you want to be a mainstream artist? Do you want to make that decision to cross over, or do you just want to make your bread and stay in your lane type shit? You feel me? Cause I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like, you feel me? Like how you could balance from going underground to mainstream without selling out type shit. Also, without your core being like, this nigga over here trying to do this now. You feel me? So it just depends.
Yeah, it's a different time. One of the things that I didn't understand early on, like coming from a radio perspective, was why artists were dropping so much music. Like I couldn't figure it out. Like I felt like artists were killing their own algorithm. So for example, you drop an album with Ninth Wonder, and we spoke about this. It's about the streaming or the vinyl, whatever. Right? So you drop an album with Ninth Wonder. I like a record. I don't have enough time to get behind that record because there's another joint coming. And I had a very interesting conversation with Flea Lord because I kind of feel like Flea Lord, out of everybody, he's the guy that almost designed this in a sense where
dropping like back to back and shit.
He was dropping an album in a month. Every month. And I couldn't understand.
I'm trying to tell you, that time, they was getting money.
Yo, like.
They was getting, I'm telling you, the vinyl deals were crazy. So I understand. It make a nigga
so theoretically, every time you drop a project,
it come with a vinyl.
You're getting a vinyl.
Yeah, so it's like, and you got to think about it, all these companies that's overseas that's selling vinyl, they might have not caught the first project. So they waiting for the next one. So we gonna whip this shit up. And you got another... Gotta think about it, you got like 10 or 20 of them niggas.
Yeah, so you're just killing it,
But
so explain the vinyl deal process, right? Because again, a lot of independent artists watch it. So you record a project. So do you shop your joint for a vinyl deal? I mean, obviously you linked up with 38, so there's a different dynamic. But let's say you weren't with someone like that. Like, how do you shop your project to kind of get these type of situations?
I mean, you gotta circulate some type of buzz. You feel me? And I would say before you shop shit around, hustle a little yourself. You feel me? Get in the field, get your hands dirty. Or not even, if you don't want to be outside, get a little website, a little Shopify, and build your shit from the start. And
so already have a physical presence.
Yeah, like already doing that. And then, if you decide to, because the good thing about doing vinyl deals is that now that company, they putting your shit on their platform. And they fans, whoever they got, might have never heard of your shit, but now they heard of your shit because you just dropped the vinyl, and that's gonna go back, like from the vinyl, it's gonna go right back to the streaming. You feel me? And that's new fans. You feel me? So I would say, man, if you feel like you could hustle, do it yourself. It's always better to do it yourself. Put up your own money. It might take a little longer to get.
So get your own, like press up your own.
Yeah, press up your own shit. You know what I mean? But if there's good deals on the table where it benefits you, like a Fat Beats. I'm about to drop on Fat Beats. I've never dropped on a project on Fat Beats. They're they established, you feel me? And they got a platform, so it makes sense for me. Like let me go drop one project over here, you feel me? And get some looks over there. Shout out to Fat Beats and shit. And but you could always boss up and do it yourself. Like shout out to Evidence. I was in Cali, and Evidence and Alchemist right now, they killing it with the
Evidence. Shout out to Blue.
They killing it with the vinyls. They making crazy, bro. So it's just about building your shit up. So eventually you could just sell shit yourself type shit. You feel me? You don't gotta go through nobody. You could just go straight to the fans and sell that shit.
But as an artist, do you feel like maybe that structure is hurting the progression of like our type of rap because it's not allowing a record to grow in a sense, right? So if an artist drops a record in December, like their work, like I remember Fetty Wap. Okay. He had Trap Queen. He was working that record for 2 years before it blew, and that record went diamond, right? And then Bad Bunny has a record, it was like 5 years. So beyond that, just like as a person, forget being an artist, do you think that maybe potentially that may hurt the bars becoming the majority in hip hop in a sense where the fans, because we're not allowing records to grow because we're just constantly dropping records?
But it's like you said at the same time, we don't got that push. You feel me? We don't got like these niggas that's dropping albums once a year. They could do that because they had the push. A label would push.
You still need the machine.
Yeah, they would push this shit a whole year.
Like with West Side Gun, not control of like West Side Gun, they still had the Shady Records infrastructure, right? Exactly. So they still had that. So the machine still came in and just popped their shit off to the masses.
Yeah, and that helps a lot. You feel me? So if you don't got the machine, then the mentality is I gotta work a little bit more. So I gotta drop a little bit more to catch your attention because I don't got, you know what I mean, these niggas behind me spending all this bread. You feel me? So I gotta show you that it's not a game. I really do this. I could drop 3 albums a year and they go be fire. You feel me? So I think that's the attitude behind it. Plus it's like it opens up lanes for niggas to go do shows. Go track, go get some show money, go get like I said, some merch money, some vinyl money. You feel me? And just, eat off this shit.
So we have a lot of people here that are gonna watch this show, this podcast, and they've never heard of the Musalini, and they're gonna hear your records, and your records are very like subjective to like women, right? So, and we have like this whole like Me Too movement and just like all this crazy shit. So like, what would you say if like, a person, an average like 55-year-old that lives in Wisconsin, and you're like referring to a girl as a bitch and this and that, like what would you say to them? Like how does someone interact with your records?
I mean, the ladies fuck with it. The women love it. I be having
they
at my shows front row, blondes, all kind of shit. You feel me? And Big Bro Ninth was saying some shit like, yo, we also in a time where niggas is acting real feminine, man, and wearing leggings and purses and doing all kind of gay shit. Now, I mean, all kind of wild shit. You feel me?
No, it's gay shit. No,
gay. You know what I mean? All kind of gay shit. So for when they hear a nigga like me, still real masculine, that could be able to talk like, you know what I mean? Come over here. You feel me? Like, let me do what a man's supposed to do type shit. Let me treat you how you supposed to be treated. You feel me? But you just gotta, you gotta listen. You feel me? Type shit. So a lot of women like that because that's the era we come from. You feel me? We not used to all this. You know what I mean? All this weird shit. You feel me? And the ladies nowadays, they confused, man. They don't know if these niggas like niggas. They like, man, when you listen to my shit and you see what we doing over here, we make music for the hustlers, but we definitely cater to the ladies. You feel me? Because that's what it's about. Man.
So what type of like ladies are you looking for specifically? Because I watch your Instagram and I tell you like I live vicariously through you. Like you outside, you on the deck, you got a fat ass on the left, fat ass on the right. Like it's a whole movie. So like, is there a certain like criteria? Girls that want to fuck with the Musalini?
You gotta be cool, man.
Like, what is that conversation like? Are you like pulling up like fucking Scarface?
Nah, man.
In the club, like what's happening? Are you like Shaft in the movie? Like,
you know how it is. It's just you gotta be cool. Like you can't be like one of them loud crazy chicks around me. I don't like. I'm a low key. I don't even be in the club and lounges. I'd rather just like you said, play the balcony, have her wear something nice for the dawn, some lingerie or some shit. You feel me? But besides that, like, this is what we doing, man. It's player shit, you feel me? I got a little, I talk my talk with the ladies and they just fuck with it, man. And it translates into the music type shit, you feel me?
Yeah.
But the ladies I fuck with, they gotta be cool. They gotta be down to earth, you feel me? And they gotta be a baddie. You know what I mean? You gotta be a baddie with a fatty, you feel me? 10 toes down, man.
Of course, mandatory.
Yeah,
this
man.
Is the Inphamus, I'm your host, Inphamus Amadeuz. The Musalini is here. So you got a project with Khrysis, project with Ninth Wonder. What are the similarities and the differences between the two producers?
Crazy, man. It's like they got similarities and they got their uniqueness and shit type shit. Ninth is ninth, man. That nigga gonna give you hits. You feel me? That nigga gonna give you that shit, that knock that's undeniable. And then at the same time, Khrysis got that knock, that same knock. But his shit just different. He got his own style, just like Ninth got his. But they both dope. I can't even. It's hard. Like, you know what I mean, not to rap on both of these shits when I'm out there. It's like, and then I'm funny. I'll pull up on Ninth like, yo, me and Khrysis, me and Khrysis just did. Ninth like, let me hear that shit, man. Get that nigga hype, man. Get that nigga back making beats and shit. You feel me? But it be like that. We be in the lab just listening back and forth to a lot of the shit we cooking, and I feel like part two Crazy. About to smash part one because we actually did this one together.
So you were saying that. So the first one was kind of like through email, and then once the project was recorded, the other side they kind of connected.
Yup. Like, yeah, I didn't even think it was real. He DM'd me some shit, and I'm like, man, this ain't Ninth Wonder, man. Give me your number. I said, give me your number. I gotta call you. He's like, yeah, I fuck with your shit. And he sent me one track, and I sent it back. He's like, yo, this shit crazy. So I'm like, yo, just me being who I am, I'm like, just send me some more beats. And I stacked up enough songs so where I was like, yo, we might as well just do a whole album, big bro. And he was like, let's do it. But yeah, we did it by email. So by the time I got out there to meet him, I was like, damn, we got to meet before we drop the album.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And build. And man, our relationship is solid. Like, big bro's a real one. He's like, he's a genius and an OG. Like, they be beats sometimes I don't want to rap on, and he'll be like, yo, Moose, you should rap on this.
Yeah, like trusting their vision.
Yeah, like trusting their, and when I rap on it, I'll be like, damn, this shit crazy. But bro know what he doing, you feel me? So I learned a lot too recording though, like one with Khrysis and Names, because I don't let people really tell me what to do in the studio. So they'll be like, nah, Moose, keep that. You bugging. You don't gotta do that shit again. Or like, yo, do this right here. And I'll be listening and the shit be fire, you feel me? So we got chemistry.
So like coming from the underground perspective, because you're in the underground, but you're kind of not in the underground at this point when you're doing records with Ninth Wonder and Khrysis and like full projects. So where do you see the underground sound going long term? Do you think it is the Griselda lane? Do you think maybe it's like your lane where it's kind of like lo-fi or boom bap? Like, where do you ultimately see this all going?
Man, the thing is, man, I still consider myself a new artist. That's why I'm going, like, I be going so hard and shit. So I feel like it's going to wherever you want it to go to at the end of the day. Because there's a lot of people that want to listen to this, that want to listen to that. So it's just about where do you fit in, what you about to get to people. I always ask an artist, like what you want to bring to the game. That's the first question, like what you want to bring to the game. Because a lot of rappers, like you said, and it's getting cluttered. So how you gonna stand out? You got to know what you about to bring to the game. So as long as you know what lane you about to be in, I feel like hip hop should be good, because we'll have we'll have options and shit. You feel me?
Yeah, and music is so subjective now. So like, if you want to listen to the Musalini style of rap, you kind of go there. If you want to listen to Kiss, you can listen to that. You can listen to the kind of whatever. But do you think that we will ever have like a mega star rapper in our lane again? Like a mega star.
Like who do you from back in the days in our lane? Who do you would have considered like Nas? You mean like a Nas?
Yeah, Nas, Kiss, a DMX. Even a Ja Rule. Like guys that were mega stars. Like, do you think we'll ever have that? Because these kids are so disconnected, right? So if you like walk down any block in the Bronx, they're listening to drill, but it's like a combination of like drill and Bone Thugs, but like house music. It's like weird what my kids listen to. So do you think there is a space for that long term?
Yeah, man. It all comes down to like the hip hop shit sticking together, like New York supporting New York type shit, man. Like you said, like the DJs, you don't gotta play the shit 24/7, but it's okay to show once, spin a nigga shit once a week or bring them on your show and support, and then it's gonna bring life slowly and it'll grow organically. Like that's the shit to keep this hip hop shit alive organically in their face. You feel me? So as long as you got people like you, people like Ninth that'll come down from however high they are to fuck with niggas like me, then you feel me, it's always gonna bring more attention to the shit we do. Hopefully, there'll be a mega star to do this shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I always find myself in a difficult space where it's like, because I'm in the DJ community, right, the radio community, So I kind of feel like, the majority of the DJs that are popping are older than me. I'm 39, so they're older than me. I mean, we're talking about these guys are almost in their 50s.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
they're making music for an audience that's not even listening to them.
It's crazy, right?
Right? They don't even listen to them.
They come from all cloth, like
cloth above me, because they come from the Rakim
yeah.
cloth. They come from the Big Daddy Kane cloth. And so I have 5 kids in my crib. They're all teenagers. None of them listen to radio. Not one of them. They want to listen to music. They go to Spotify, YouTube, and the majority of people that own a car in their 40s, right? So it's like, why are you playing music for an audience that's not even listening to you? So what do you think, like, ultimately, when it comes down to the DJ, you think maybe DJs are afraid to play these type of records?
I think they just chasing the bag.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the labels want. That's what people in the club want to hear. So they like, yo, we got to pump this shit so we could get booked at clubs, or the labels could give us a bag to fuck with this artist or whatever the case should be. I don't know, my nigga, because that's some shit I be talking about with the homies. Like, how these niggas come from that era, that the crates, the vinyls,
it's the weirdest
the
shit,
hip hop shit, but yeah, y'all want to dub all the dope shit that's in New York. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't think it should have took Conway getting mad for like big DJs and other DJs to like play they shit at least or show some love. I feel like that should have been off top, because niggas come from that era. You feel me? So I'm on that type of time. Like, niggas just gotta tap in some more. You feel me?
Yeah, most definitely.
You think they tapping in more though now?
No.
No, okay.
No, and not only do I think they're not tapping in more, I think they're disrespecting the independent artists. So
okay.
Specifically Hot 97. So in that whole Conway shit, I had posted a video. I basically called out niggas' radio numbers.
Okay.
So this is why we're having this boom bap energy, because, Conway and Flex is going back and forth. So I'm like, all right, let's pull out the numbers. Like, let's just talk numbers. And Hot 97 in the whole entire state, there's like 41 stations. Hot 97 is like 20th, right? And the reason why they're 20th is because they're playing music for an audience that does not listen to radio.
Okay.
So you're playing music for a bunch of kids that don't own cars, don't listen to radio. Like I just explained this already, right?
Crazy.
And someone like Red Alert, DJ Red Alert, he's number 4 in the city. You wouldn't even notice. He's number 4. Hot 97 has like 600,000 monthly listeners. I think when I did the research, this was like June. Red Alert is at like 1.6 million. Because his audience is directly catered to people that drive in vehicles. Like, would you sell your ladies rap to a bunch of crack dealer niggas? No, it's
gotta make sense.
You're gonna define.
Always, yeah.
You're gonna define your audience. So I don't think ultimately the DJs are tapping in, and it's like the never ending conversation of like, all right, how do we do this? How do we get guys to tap in and give people a palette of music? I was at a barbecue this summer and I heard a little kid say, I'm fin to, and that shit right there threw me off, because we from New York. Like, nigga, how you here in the Bronx, in the Mecca of real shit, talking about you're finna do anything? That's Southern dialect. But they're pushing the entire Southern dialect on these artists, and it's like, okay, in the process, New York has lost a piece of identity.
Not knowing that the South fuck with the New York shit
all day.
You feel me? Like, I'm out there now all the time in Durham, Raleigh, all that shit, and they fuck with the shit, the underground shit. So it's like the DJs is just, man, they just lost in the sauce right now. Because that, niggas want to hear that shit. Like you said, there's an audience. The people that riding around the car, they don't want to hear that drill shit. You feel me? They want to hear that good music at that. You feel me? So. Shit. Hopefully shit change, man.
Hopefully shit will change. So Musalini, we have a new project out now with Khrysis. What's next for you? 2023 is coming, so where are we at?
Man, I'm about to just flood them. I'm about to go crazy, man. You might see me with your bitch for a weekend somewhere, OT. Feel me? Just, a lot of albums about to come. I got a whole album produced by Static Selector.
Shout out to Static.
Co-starring my guy, Wise P. You feel me? 10 Toes Down.
Yeah.
Me and Ninth about to drop part 2. I'm not, man, there's a lot of shit going on, man. Just working, bro, for real. About to do another tour too soon. About to hit the road and shit.
Dope. If you want to follow you on social media, where they follow you at?
The Musalini, at the Musalini. Log on to the website, themusalini.com. Support real New York shit. New York supporting New York. Shout out to my boy Inf. Shout out to the whole Shade. Everybody outside doing their thing. You already know, man. Salute.
Of course, and I'm the Infamous Amadeuz each and every Thursday here on Boom Bap Nation. Make sure you tap into the Inphamus Hour. Follow me on Instagram at the Infamous Amadeuz, and more importantly, SiriusXM Shade 45 every single Thursday. You know where to find me at. Left Lane Music. Till next time, stay COVID-19 free and stay safe. See you then.
Yes, sir.